What is going on, viewers of YouTube? Sunspot here, and I am back giving you guys my review of the Toys R Us exclusive Bandai Legacy Collection Movie 2017 Alpha 5 6-inch collectible figure. Well, as per usual, I do want to highlight the box. Really nothing special. Saban's Power Rangers, the Bandai and warning labels, limited edition, and yes, this is the last figure you need to build the Megazord, which... oh man, that's just going to be a mess. You can, again, take out the background here, use it as a backdrop for your character, which is always nice. It does say Legacy Collection Alpha 5 there, and for some reason, don't ask me why, they didn't put or draw Alpha 5 artwork. They put the Red Ranger, which I think is incredibly lazy. This loses a lot of points. I know this is really just not a special box at all, but the least they could do is give us Alpha 5 artwork. Sides of the box continue that white lightning bolt streaks and stuff, which is pretty cool. Continuation of the Red Ranger artwork. Same with the back, just basically all black. And the top of the box here just has the new Power Rangers 2017 movie logo. And the bottom is pretty much useless. Back of the box highlights all the pieces you need and what comes with what figure for the Chicken Zord here. So that's, I was about to say it's pretty cool, but it's not in my opinion. Oh man, I sound like a dick saying that. I don't like this Megazord at all. But this is about Alpha 5, and here is the other figures in the wave. As for the figure himself, I am not a fan of the design. You know, come on, guys. Okay, I'm gonna be abundantly honest here. This looks like a chicken. Come on. The arms, the belly, especially the belly, really reminds you just of some humanoid chicken. It's so weird, and the feet obviously just scream chicken, and the bent legs and stuff. It's a chicken. I don't know why they went for this design. I'm gonna give you guys a 360. It's so stupid. I know people out there are going to disagree with me. You're more than welcome to, but I think that this is a terrible, terrible design for Alpha 5. Especially with... I know these are supposed to be scales or armor plate or whatever, but come on, they look like feathers. And, you know, he has a tiny, tiny neck, too, which just screams chicken. And really the only part that's really not bothering me too much is the head, and even then it really doesn't look too much like the original. At least the other Power Rangers do, you know, look fairly close to the originals, which is nice, but this guy, he just fails to do that. But as far as the figure itself goes, it's decent. I don't really have any complaints. The articulation is good. The paintwork is pretty spot on. I don't have any leakage anywhere, and I love how the head's on a ball joint, which is nice, so you can get some really cool dynamic poses from this, but the design is just not working for me. As for the head sculpt, like I said, it doesn't bother me too much. Definitely my favorite part of the figure. Give you guys a quick 360. It's pretty plain. It's obviously very flat, and I love how it's on a ball joint. It just makes for a lot of possible poses, which is nice. But yeah, they use quite a few colors here. I do like the light blue that they use here. Let me try dimming down my light a bit so you can see better. There we go. So yeah, a nice crystal light blue, which is always nice. Do have a red trim right here, a solid piece of gray plastic, and then they used a mix of yellow and lime green for the eyes, so to give it that light up effect, which is pretty cool, because in the trailer he does look exactly like this. It's a good representation of Alpha 5 in the trailer. So, and you can tell his neck is sculpted pretty well. You know, they put a lot of indentations and a lot of definition. Looks like a rib cage, actually. So it's just a solid piece of well, it's painted red, but yeah, I wish the paintwork was a little bit better here. It's a little blotchy there for some reason. I wish they painted the ball joint a different color too, just to match the neck, because it kind of like makes a rough transition. But besides that, head sculpt is pretty spot on. And same goes for the rest of the figure. I know it looks a little bit awkward right now just because his head is, you know, it's gigantic, so I actually have to move it a little bit up to let the light seep into the figure here. It's pretty plain. They basically use just two colors here, the gray plastic and then the red paint. I really wish they would have done a bit more here, because literally it's just that. Even the other Power Rangers had more than two colors, so that's a little bit disappointing. Maybe some silver bits or black bits or whatever, because he seems pretty colorful in the trailer, and he was in the original series. But they sculpted these scales or armor platings or whatever these are pretty well. You could tell they sculpted in a lot of definition, especially on the chest here with these little lines and indentations and stuff. With this little joint right here, it's clearly visible, obviously. I do wish that they put some scales on that as well, or just a line across it. Would have made it more flush and a bit more fluid with the rest of the figure. Just a little gripe, though. I like how this is sculpted, though, pretty well. Paint's a little blotchy, but really no big deal. And it's pretty plain in there, and luckily I don't have the problem with this guy like I do with the Rangers. The joints are not too far apart from the figure, which is nice. Everything's nice and flush there. Taking a look at the back, I'm not a fan of this writing, but, you know, what can you do? And more of those indentations, and like how the paint is nice and not blotchy, or, you know, it's not leaking onto the gray, because that would honestly just ruin it. I don't know what this is. It's like a little piece of... might have just scratched it or something. I don't know if it came like that. No big deal. And looking at his chicken legs here, a lot of detail here, especially on the gray. Like, not so much on the red. You know, they put quite a bit of detail here. I'm not a fan of this giant ridge, but on the gray plastic, they just put a ton of detail. I'm very impressed. It looks like he has muscle, which is a little bit odd, and same with the back, even more so, actually. So that's nice looking. And just looking at the feet and the calves here, more of that red paint, and the feet are chickeny, if that's even a word, and they put a lot of detail, even at the bottom, which is pretty cool. So, overall, a pretty well done sculpt. As for the articulation, he's pretty well articulated. As you know, his head is on a ball joint, so it can look up pretty far, go down even further actually, and can go left and right, and obviously spin the full 360. The shoulders, make sure to move the head out of the way, can rotate fully as well as go out and in. He does have a single jointed elbow, which, you know, I'm not really complaining about that. It makes sense just for the mold and for the figure, or the character as a whole, because if he had two double jointed elbow, that'd be a little bit awkward. And his wrists can rotate fully as well as go out and in, side to side. No waist joint. That bothers me a little bit, but it's, you know, it's no big deal. It's not like you're going to be putting this guy in super crazy poses. Legs here on a ball joint so they can rotate fully, even though I don't recommend it because the red will attack the gray plastic right here. He can't do the splits really, but it can go forward and back pretty far. A single jointed knee, again, doesn't bother me. I mean, it bothers me a little bit that you don't get a 90 degree, but I'm fine if there's no double jointed. As far as the feet go, they're on a ball joint, go forward a little bit, back, and he does have a slight ankle pivot. As for size, this guy stands at just under 6 inches. If you don't believe me, here's my trusty tape measure. And, yeah, just a little bit under 6 inches. Then here is Alpha 5 next to a standard NECA figure. Pretty good scale. He's just about an inch shorter than Ash here. And here's Alpha 5 next to his movie counterparts. So you have the Pink Ranger here and, of course, the Blue Ranger. I'd say this is a pretty good scale. In the movie, it looked like he was a little bit shorter than what's being represented here, but honestly, if they would have made these guys a bit taller, it would be a better scale. And here he is next to my alpaca. As for accessories, of course, this doesn't have anything. Come on, Bandai, give us something, anything, except a freaking Build-A-Figure piece, which doesn't count as an accessory, but might as well get into it, move Alpha 5 out of the way here, and show you the Build-A-Figure piece. I'm happy that the head is connected to the body, so he does come with both, which is nice, so you don't have to buy more figures. But yeah, here is the body, really. So starting off with the head here, I'm going to just sort through this because the next video you'll see after this one is the Megazord review. Do have some pink, some blue. I do like the gunmetal plastic mixed in with the outline of the gray. Here's the chest morpher, whatever that's whatever part that's going to play in the movie. This is actually a darker color than this for whatever reason. I don't know why. And I guess this is where the Yellow Ranger will be. I don't know how these Megazords will connect, because where's the Mastodon on all these parts? And obviously here's the spine of the saber-toothed tiger, and the slots for the Pink Ranger, the pterodactyl Megazord piece. So yeah, and there's a piece of hair stuck to him. I don't know why that's there, but there you go for the Megazord piece. So overall, I do recommend this figure. Again, I am not a fan of the design at all. I think it looks ridiculous and just... it's a chicken, come on people, but you might as well get him if you have the other Rangers, and he does come with the most important Build-A-Figure piece, which is the body and the head for the Megazord. So if you see him in stores, pick him up for the Build-A-Figure piece. And with that said, people, if you did enjoy this video, please like, subscribe, comment, check out my site at SunSpotReviewz.com, and I'll see you guys in my next video.